realistic possibility for them at the moment, unfortunately. I feel bad for anyone who's coming into the promotion relegation tournament, because one of the teams there are a team that I think you could rate kind of top 6, top 5, maybe even top 4 in the Challenger League at the moment, who've just not been blessed with their strength of schedule and with their slow start to the season as well. With that said, they have just banned Gyroscope, and so never mind, I hate Exalty again.
I hate them. Worst team. They actually banned out Aeropipes was banned out against them, which is a strategic pick, I think, because obviously we've seen Exalty picking Aeropipes over and over and over again. It didn't quite work out for them last time around, but that's generally their strat, is to pick out Aeropipes. So I like to see a strategic ban. We sometimes see Aeropipes banned just because teams don't like it. That one is not a ban, I don't think, just because I don't like it.
Yeah. Interestingly, Slippy Slides has fallen down in priority over the last few days. Quite a lot over the end of it. It was definitely one of those kind of core 4 maps that we saw a lot of, along with Slowdown, Back and Forth, and Freestyle. And we are still seeing Slowdown, Back and Forth, and Freestyle making an awful lot of appearances, and they will be 3 of the 4 maps. But Parkour has risen, I think, in priority for a lot of these teams over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think so. I think maybe, you know, it's one of these things where, as we've said a couple times, teams need to start bringing out maps that are kind of out of the meta, you know, out of the 4 that we usually see. And that is the one, I think, closest to the 4 in terms of consistency for a lot of teams. It is not consistent whatsoever, but I think it is closer than something like Gyroscope or something like Aeropipes. It's kind of the lesser of the evils that aren't part of the 4 maps that everybody picks.
Yeah. And it will be ORKS GP NUMELOPS in the blue. It will be Exalty in the red up against them, and we will be kicking things off on Slowdown. Again, a map that we expect to see good times on, but I think we'll just be taking this time to mark the difference between the times on this match and the times on the previous match in general, because as good as I think Exalty are, and as well as ORKS GP NUMELOPS have done over the previous weeks, for as comfortable as they are sitting in the table at the moment, locked into playoffs at this point, I doubt it's going to be as quick. And unfortunately, Twiggy, for all that hype, it's our faces again instead of cars going fast.
A terrible fate, honestly, having to look at our faces for any more time than is necessary. But yeah, as you were about to point out, Slowdown, obviously, we just got a new world record in it. It is now down to 4:04 instead of 4:09. Pack molding completely. He had to take back his world record by force, and now it's gone again. Yeah. So it's just unfortunate times, but here we are, and yeah, it's going to be very difficult to even put up. I don't think we're going to see a single time that is within a 10th of that. I don't think. I
do feel bad as well for anyone who's played Solary in the Trackmania Grand League playoffs, because Pack is going to come in very practiced and very angry, wanting to take some world records
very,
back.
Very angry, wanting to take
Challenger League has poked to the bear, and they do not have to deal with the consequences at all.
Yeah, no. I noticed somebody had said that he really didn't want to lose the freestyle world record, and then he lost that one, and now he's lost the slowdown world record again, and those are 2 times he really didn't want to lose. And here we are. Now he is what? The only one he has is Aeropipes now, right?
Yeah, which is, I believe, well, it was banned away in this match, and was going to be... There was a decent chance, if we got to map 7 last time around, that he was going to lose that as well, because that was map 7 in our last match. So,
and it was Dexter.
It was Dexter who was in
the world record for a little while as well.
Exactly, yeah. Things were about to get potentially very scary for Pack's sole remaining world record, but we definitely won't be seeing it in this match, and we should be going back into this. What are you wrong about?
Pack doesn't have a world record. Oh no, he has. No, he only has freestyle drawn. That's all he has now.
Yes, but he lost that.
No, he was overtaken because it was 0-6. Yeah, no, he has nothing. He has nothing anymore.
Well, that's unfortunate.
He genuinely... he has nothing. He has the Grand League record for Aeropipes, not the world record, which is a weird thing to say, but here we are. Wow. Okay, so yeah, Pack not having any world records anymore. Ah, there you go, Ratchet up at the top there with the 4:04. Perfect. So rare, all right? That's the one.
Yeah. Pretty cool. I mean, it's nice to see Challenger League records up in the top left corner, and as we were saying, we'd be surprised pleasantly if these teams are contesting those world records in this match. And I mean, hey, maybe they will manage to do it. We'll at least see which team gets out to the faster start on this one. It's me, Quattro, versus Panda up in the front of this round. It is Link taking on Complex down at the back, and it is Exalty fighting for their tournament lives tonight.
Indeed it is. Well, everybody seems clean through this one. It's whether or not we'll see the same kind of times. Panda out ahead, leading from McQuattro. McQuattro with a little more speed. Can he catch up? Not quite. Panda there with a 56.7. Okay, well, okay. That's not a bad time whatsoever for the first round. And everybody kept it clean all the way through. It's a draw. It's a good round. Things are starting off well.
And this is very much what we saw in our match with Exalty versus Alternate Attacks yesterday on Slowdown as well. 56.7 is necessary to win the times. In our previous match tonight, you needed to be breaking world records in order to win rounds.
You needed a 6 on that one.
Yeah, you needed at least a 6. You needed a 7 to be guaranteeing second place. I'm expecting 7s to be first places this time around. Maybe a 0.8 if you want second place, but not going to be as rapid. Still going to be very, very hotly contested rounds between these two teams.
Yeah, I mean, these are two teams that we think of as consistent, I think, not fast. Although McQuattro does come into the conversation when you do think about speed. Everybody else on the server, it's more about consistency than speed. We're not seeing a lot of records for any of them. We're not seeing a lot of, average top times being better than anybody else in the league. But their consistency and their average times are usually better because they have less crashes. Although Complex, well, it might not be a crash, does lift a couple wheels off the floor. Panda still in first position. It's going to be incredibly tight to the end. Somehow, it's an ace for Exalty with not only a 56.8, another good time, but 100th between McQuattro and Link.
Oh, they are looking good. 56.8 good enough to win that round, but an ace for Exalty. And I was kind of looking at the lineup of matches for today, and there are a few very spicy ones, and I think this might have been one that flew under the radar a little bit because Exalty and ORKS GP NUMELOPS haven't really been the teams that are winning a huge amount of matches or have been setting the world alight with times or anything like that. But as you were saying just there, consistency has been the name of the game for both of these teams, and in terms of raw pace as well, I think they're very evenly matched. This feels like one of the matches to me that could just be the most exciting. It could come down all the way to map 7 and be one of those ones that we talk about at the end of our regular season as one of the most exciting.
Yeah, currently none of the players in this lobby have a record whatsoever. I think Complex has had 2 stolen from him, and McQuattro has had 1 stolen from him today alone. No, because Flipper Faith was one of them, and that was Scandir who took it. Panda again in first position. McQuattro with more speed once again, but cannot catch up. Complex comes in 3rd place to 56.5. Okay, never mind. We are knocking on the door of world record here. Look, never mind.
I didn't know your game, and I must apologize, okay? 56.589 is already coming out here, and we're into round 3.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know what? I'm more than happy to be wrong on that one. If that's the kind of time that we're getting to secure first place, then that is an absolutely brilliant sign for the rest of this series. Exalty are looking clean, but ORKS are looking fast.
Yeah, the ORKS definitely have the pace to contest them at the moment, and as long as no mistakes come through, I think this more than almost any other match, despite how often we talk about matches being decided by consistency in the Challenger League. I mean, last match was decided by pace. It was decided by Dexter being very, very quick. This one is going to be about getting both of your cars to the line, near as you can get to your top pace, but just getting both of your cars to the line, absolutely vital. And this one is going to be a battle of that as we head into this identity, and it will be at least one of those cars not making it to the line. A second one will go for a little bit of a flight, and Panda and McQuattro are the only 2 left standing, as Panda will take first place, McQuattro into second. It's another double respawn. Both cars will head to the line together, as it will be Complex into 3rd and Link into 4th.
Man, look, okay, we can talk as much as we want about the jumps that are going on. Panda is insane right now. It may not be the best times that we've ever seen, but the consistency, he's landing in first place all the time. Like, this is brilliant, and it's exactly what ORKS need if they want to take this map away from Exalty right now. Oh my Link, no, that's way too... Oh no, what's going on?
And I'd love to have a quick look back at that last round as well and see how quick the respawns came through from both Complex and Link, right? Because they were both within about half a second of each other, and I don't know, I feel like maybe one of them was a little bit slow on pulling the trigger for that one, and those are one of those things where if you do make a mistake when rounds are this tight, going for that respawn, making the decision if you have to double respawn as quickly as possible could make a difference in some of these rounds.
Yeah, it's something we see a lot on that engine off block. Going into, where everybody... Oh, sorry, the steering off block.
On
where
freestyle,
people just go immediately for a respawn on freestyle, we don't see it a lot on other maps. Interestingly, Panda again out in first place, but there is the speed from McQuattro. This time it does work out in his favor, and he overtakes Panda for the first time. Exalty managed to get a draw out of that round and stay 1 point abreast of ORKS GP NUMELOPS, but this is definitely a hard fight for both teams.
Yeah, Panda just a little bit slower through that identity than he has been on previous rounds, and, well, will be made to pay for it, because Quattro has been there the entire time, sitting close behind Panda. And that's it. You lose half a second, you lose 4/10, and all of a sudden you're losing a position in a match like this.
Yeah, this is really coming down to, this is like last we were going wild over world records and all of this. This is not the same kind of going wild. This is, every round is going to be incredibly close, and every round we're going to see just every mistake that any player makes is going to completely change the tide of the round.
That is going to be a little bit of a touch as well, and it's going to be, I believe, Panda dropping all the way back, and it means two players from Exalty sitting in the driver's seat heading into this identity, and Ace closes it out for them. They are on track point, and it is complex to go trying to deny it at the moment. It's so close to the tree for Link, and that may be what he needed. He will lose a bit of airtime there, and complex is only on. Link will manage to catch back up, will not quite get there. A touch onto the finish line, denies the snipe, and it means complex holds on to the lead. It means Link in second, Quattro with his airtime coming in fourth, and the two teams tied on 8 points apiece.
On just the tiniest, and that's the thing, right? On slowdown, that is the worst fate you can have, is all four players right in the same couple tenths, because it means that there are going to be so many more mistakes on the identity than in any other kind of round, because when you have players on your tail like that, the pressure is so high that you want to speed up in that identity, and that is what leads to you jumping or you hitting a checkpoint like that. It's tiny errors that will lose you tenths in that one, and that is exactly what we're seeing right now. It's tied at 8-8.
It is tied at 8-8, and at the moment we are on pace for a draw as well, and a draw is the only result that does not end this map right here. What does it come down to in the identity? Panda still asleep, but Complex is on a charge through the middle of the map, and it is going to be Panda from Complex. Complex does it all in the identity. And it was not like Exalty last time. I want to make that very clear, Twiggy. They did not lose time. Complex just made it up. That was one of the best identities that we have ever seen on Slowdown.
Yeah, I mean, what a good round. And we saw a 56-5 and a 56-6 from ORKS there, which is... That's definitely, you know, that's what you need to get that one done. We didn't think we'd really see players get within a tenth of the new world record. We saw 2 times there that were 56-5s. So, hey, look, they've got the speed and they've got the consistency. What more could you want?
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. What a way to end the first map as well. I mean, Exalty, they've given us some of the most surprising, some of the best matches throughout the Challenger League in general, taking maps when it felt like they had no right to. And the issue for them has just been getting squeezed out at the end, not being able to get it across the line. And map 1, a microcosm in a lot of ways of their entire season up until this point, Twiggy, as well. And we just have to hope for their sake that it's not going to be an example of how the entire match is going to go.
Yeah, precisely. Exalty just seem to always miss out on a map by 1 or 2 points, and then suddenly, you know, they're down in the series by 2 or 3 points, and it's all over before, you know, you can even do anything to stop it. Let's see. Everybody gets that first steering off block right this time around. Now, it's all gonna come down to the identity. These are players that have not had a good time with the identity. Pretty much nobody in this lobby has had a really, really clean version of this map, I don't think. None of them have set the world alight with times either, so I am interested to see. Oh no, the tree! Oh lord!
That's not a tree you see players visit very often on this map, and Complex nearly makes a visit
as he
to an
was going
outside pole.
towards it, I was like, huh, that looks, oh man, that looks really bad.
And it doesn't look great for Complex either, who has been forced to full respawn as well. Link is a little bit slow, but he'll safe through the line at the end there. We'll go wicked on it.
No, too wicked! Too wicked!
It's
too wicked!
Too wicked!
He was too wicked! Oh, I don't think I've seen a player lose a position because of a 3-6. Oh no.
That feels bad. It was a forced 360 now, to be fair. He was not throwing it in entirely for style points. He had a bad exit from the previous wall and struggling for speed, needs to go for the 360. But yeah, Panda keeps it clean despite hitting that tree, recovered well enough to get all the way to that finish line and snipe.
Oh, that's gotta hurt a lot. Because Link, yeah, I mean, as you said, pretty much there was there was a world in which it would have been incredibly risky to do it normally.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gotta feel pretty bad that suddenly it's just not it's lost your position. So suddenly, yeah, they will have wanted to get 3 points out of that round and make sure that they're well ahead into this one. It doesn't happen for them. Maybe they will be able to get it back because it wasn't a bad round for them whatsoever. It was just unfortunate they lost that position.
It's true, but with that said, I mean, it was not a bad round for them, partly because there was mistakes from both Complex and Panda in the lead up to the Identity, and this time around, with no mistakes from either Complex or Panda, miQuattro is the only player splitting them at the moment, and Link has fallen little ways behind into this one. I tell a lie, Link is right there, that's who we're riding on board with, and Link will make a mistake, and now it's a little bit more true, but it is the two players from Numelops in between miQuattro and from Link, and at the finish line, miQuattro will just about hold on in front of Panda. A very, very close round indeed.
Yeah, and Link has trouble with that first jump, huh? Link really does have trouble with that first jump. His lead up to it is all good, but now that's twice in a row that he has clipped his first wheel and had to safe that second jump as well. So miQuattro having a difficult time keeping ORKS at bay right now. When we saw how close it was that round, can he keep it up? Can Link manage to clean up that Identity?
They'll need to. Will really need to. They do not want to drop 2 maps behind at the moment, especially not with Freestyle being their first map selection of the match as well. There's a crash. That is going to be miQuattro dropping a long way back from the 3 other drivers on this one, and all of a sudden a lot of pressure on Link. Is the player with the faster time of the 2 on this map, is the player that maybe you could hope moves forward and carries a little bit. And the line there going very deep inside will not come out with more speed. Those Complex re-overtakes on the outside.
Now would be a great time to step up with Panda and Complex right ahead of you, 2 tenths forward from you. It would be a great opportunity to show that you managed to get this one done. It's another risky line from him this time. The wheel does not clip. He stays with Panda and Complex, but both of them kept it clean as well. Maybe Link has more speed, but I don't think it's enough whatsoever. Panda and Complex, they cross the line together, and it's an ace for them, and it puts them ahead of Exalty.
The cats are sitting very comfortably around a campfire with their friends at the moment for ORKS GP NUMELOPS, and they needed it as well because Link was hot on their heels, was very, very close to taking either of them. And both of them set, I think, pretty much the best times we've seen all map long out of them, and they were within a tenth of each other doing it. Yeah,
we haven't seen a 107 right now here in this matchup. That was the first one we saw, and both of them managed to get it. ORKS, well, they'll be very happy with that one, and Link, it's got to feel bad that the first time you get that cleanly, you just can't get enough speed to catch up to ORKS. So now, yeah, you've just got to keep that going. It may not have paid off for you, but at the very least, you have cleaned it up. Now you just need to keep doing that.
Yeah, we'll need to do it. And miQuattro at least is still in the mix on this one at the moment, but it is Numelops who have control of the round. Never mind. Nice. There goes miQuattro. That low line through the dirt turn there and allowing you to keep the wheel straighter through it. Carries an awful lot more speed. It's hard to set up, and when players do, they benefit from it greatly. miQuattro leading all the way through. Link needs to keep clean for the moment as well. Any mistakes from anyone? It doesn't look like any big mistakes, but miQuattro is the slowest car through that jump, and that means the door open for an ace again from Complex and Panda. It's another ace, and it is a great time from Complex to do it.
Very good. Very good time. Well, if the Challenger League record was not the same as the Grand League record, we may be saying right now that that was a new Challenger League record, but no, it's still about 3 tenths down on that one. Oh, sorry, it's not the same anymore. I keep looking back at the old graphic where I'm like, no, but Dexter did take it. I keep forgetting how many records Dexter has stolen. It's genuinely, like, it's so difficult to remember all of that, but yes, although it is in the top left now. I mean, look, it wasn't a bad round from Exalty, but ORKS were just better. Yeah,
ORKS have stepped up massively in the last 2 rounds. They held off Link in the second from last round by a tenth, 2 tenths, and that was with a 107.7. And then both of them go and set a 107.3, 107.4 in the next round. And right now, things look a little bit dire for Exalty. miQuattro, again, will be quick through this turn, but forced to release slightly on the outside of the turn this time around. He was pushing it, is needing to push it, but Exalty, it's just not quite coming together for them.
And this time Panda is in first place, just like he was all the way through Slowdown. Can he keep it clean through to the very end? Oh, no, he cannot whatsoever. Complex may just have more speed than miQuattro at the moment, but Link is probably going to come in first. No, he clips his wheel. He just about stays ahead of miQuattro. manages to get his team 1 point, but that is not enough to close out the map.
Nearly sniped out Link as well. Less than a 10th in it on that one. But as you say, not going to be enough to close out the map for the moment. Numelops with a single point separating them from that map win. Exalty, it's 2 aces. Again, that's all they are allowed to do at this point. Well, an ace and then I guess a round win would be good enough. But it starts with an ace. Exalty,
look. The weight of the world now. Oh my lord, the weight of the world is way too much for Link to carry. Unfortunately, not the same as the Legend of Zelda character, not quite having the world-saving capabilities of that one, but it's going to be way more difficult now to stop ORKS from getting 1 point out of this round. Miquatro in second place. But, well, you need both of your players there to stop any points from coming through for ORKS GP Numelops, and that doesn't look very likely. Link down by about 6/10.
Yeah, is only about a second behind at the moment through those last checkpoints. Slightly less than a second, in fact. So, with a mistake from both Panda and Complex, it is doable. But a mistake from both Panda and Complex, it's not feeling particularly likely. As we get through one jump cleanly, a second jump will work out for Panda. Nice. Miquatro gets close to sniping on the line, but it would not have mattered as Panda Complex both finish 1 and 3. Miquatro and Link with another 2 and 4. And a tale as old as time. Exalty make things look competitive and ultimately end up dropping a map. A scoreline of about 11-6, 10-8, 10-7. These are all scorelines that seem to fall Exalty's way slightly too often.
Yeah, ORKS are just so clean. That is that's the thing that's going on right here. Consistency really is key, and ORKS have absolutely brought that out pretty much every round. Sorry, that we have seen them. There was the first round on that map which was not perfect from them, but apart from that, I mean, honestly, every time they just managed to squeeze out a second position, or at least have one player in the top 2, and at least that second player in third. So that's all that matters. You're getting more points than the other team. You might not be breaking the boundaries of time itself, but you're getting it done. That's all that matters.
And they just need to get it done twice more here. And ORKS GP Numelops will have a strong start to their day. Of course, they do still have a second match tonight up against BS Plus competition, but with a loss here, Exalty lock themselves guaranteed into the bottom 2 for the Challenger League at the end of the regular season. They will be heading to the promotion relegation tournament, doing their best to avoid it still. I mean, they will be fighting, and it is a fresh map. It's another fresh start, and you get plenty of those throughout it, but they do run out rather quickly if you don't start to take advantage.
Well, they say you get superhuman strength when your life is on the line. Let's see if Exalty can bring that out right here, right now. It would be a very good time to get that one going now, with ORKS looking 2 maps away from taking this series 4-0. But Panda, once again, with both the speed and the consistency, he's in first position, not quite fourth. Complex in third. Miquatro, with a little less speed than Panda as well, is not going to be able to catch up. Maybe Complex can catch up with Miquatro. He definitely can if Miquatro doesn't make it to the finish line. It's an ace to start things off from ORKS GP Numelops.
I'll feel pretty happy with that one. And right now, at the end of what has been a difficult season for Exalty, it looks to be falling apart a little bit. Handing over an ace to kick things off on a must-win map is not where you want to sit. And hey, at least if the round doesn't end up all that exciting, we have camera work to keep us interested.
Yeah, definitely. I'm loving the new camera work. It's absolutely brilliant. I want to see more of that. More. But Link now in first place. Panda and Complex second and third, now in first and second, with some cleaner slides there. And it's really looking like ORKS are putting on the afterburners. They're not, they're not sitting back on their haunches whatsoever.
Yeah, they are going to keep pushing this one. Panda with a bit of a mistake through there, but recovering again. The big issue he has is less speed than both of his opponents through the middle section of the track, and it means Miquatro and Link are unleashed to try and hunt down Complex through the identity. We'll see if either of them can manage to pull that off, or, well, really it'll come down to a Complex mistake. That's the gap he has built up, half a second over the rest of the track. Good enough at the moment, and he is weaving carefully. Panda might even overtake someone as well. On the inside he goes. He's going to take at least one of them. He will take Link. Not quite able to catch up with Miquatro, and Complex just sitting out front comfortably alone.
Man, sometimes it just hurts to see Panda. He was in fourth position there, and he kept it clean to the end to overtake that last one. That's good. Just keeping a cool head under pressure there. Oh, Link, hey, okay, all good. Still in the race. Didn't have to respawn. That's fine. Probably back by about 2 seconds, though.
Yeah, which is going to feel like pretty rough one. It's about 3 seconds, ultimately, the price he has to pay for flying into the air like that one. Panda does
Panda's
slide
in a
out.
tree.
So Link is right back into this one.
Pandas kind of belong in trees, so that's fine.
Well,
they like being in trees.
well,
it's not like natural habitat, but they do like trees. So
Sure.
look, you're the zoologist.
That's true.
I'm not gonna take
Again, I don't like pandas think they like some things, and pandas think
yeah,
they
they think
dislike
they like
some
high
things
places,
that they don't
and then
like.
they fall from them.
They're real dumb, man. I don't know what to tell you. Not this panda, just pandas in general.
Well, Complex is in first position now. McQuackshire takes a wider line through into the identity and falls back into second position, and he can't catch up to Complex whatsoever, barring a mistake, which does not happen. He gets it all done, and although Panda comes in fourth place, Orcs do not lose their lead.
It's going to be a draw, but as you say, still 4 points up, and at this point, draws are totally Numelop's favored. The blue team happy to keep picking those up round on round if they really need to, because they'll just get to a win eventually if that ends up happening. They are far enough in front that even wins are not going to be enough for Exalty if they only pick up 1 or 2. Just a single point every round feels good enough for Numelops.
Feels good, man. Feels strong, man, for Exalty, I feel like. You know, it's one of those moments, it's just like, oh. Well, you know, I feel like they deserve more than they... Like, I don't think they deserve bottom 2, man. I do not think they deserve it, but here we are, and they have only won 1 game, and they are struggling to get anything out of every series so far. Complex is in first position. Once again, Panda in fourth. We know how well he can catch up at this point, and he does have a little more speed out of that ice slide. Yeah,
will be regaining a little bit this time around, but we've seen this position a couple of times already, which is both players from Exalty trying to catch back up with Complex, and meanwhile Panda is in prime position to try and snipe them, although with that kind of turn there, Panda will drop a little bit further away from the 2 cars in red, and yet he was in position to snipe one at the finish line. It will not matter. It's another draw again, and Numelops move to track point.
Yeah, in the pursuit of an overtake there, you know, you have to take such a tight line, and he goes just too early. Panda, that's the first mistake he's made all series, pretty much. There he goes. Unfortunate, but again, it's a draw. Doesn't matter for Orcs. They're absolutely happy with that. They still have a 4-point gap. Yep,
and every one of those draws continues to just move the match further out of Exalty's reach. They really need to pick up an ace. They really need to do it now, or it's going to feel too late, in at least my opinion on this one, and possibly theirs as well, because it will start to get very risky. They're at least in position to do it at the moment. Complex finally making an error near the start of the map and potentially opening the door a little bit for Exalty to pick up a much needed ace. Although McQuackshire with a turn like that will not be doing himself any favours.
It's not the worst one I've ever seen, but it does allow Panda up into second place, and Panda had such a good release from that he might just move up into first position off the back of this transition. Yeah, and he does indeed. Complex actually moves himself into third as well, although he's a bit wider, which pushes him back down, but Panda may just be able to take this win here. Oh, he needs to now. Complex, oh no, both of them are gone. Panda and Complex both crash into a pole. Oh, Panda just makes it through. Oh no, Link was the one who crashed. Man, he has a blue car.
Oh,
and he has a blue...
It's very confusing.
Okay.
It's very unfair.
It's still a draw.
Yeah, it's still a draw. Again, we've said this 3 rounds in a row. Draws are Numelop's favored. And so they move to 8 and 4, and now a win is good enough for them in the next round. Exalty, 2 aces would win it for them. I'm hard-pressed to say that they're going to get them.
Yeah, I feel really bad for Link right now. I feel like at this point it must be weighing on you a little bit.
Yeah.
The amount of mistakes that have happened. And the fact that, you know, unlike a team like Sprout, you don't have a teammate that can consistently just set world records to bail you out. Like, the problem here is that it's not... it's just a really tough position to be in, because after you're doing this over and over and over again, it just starts to get worse, because you start to feel bad that you are maybe not bringing the team down, but making it more difficult for your teammate at that point. And Panda and Complex in first and second position, I feel like is... This may just be the end of this map.
Yeah, this could well be it. It would require a mistake from 2 of them. The first and the third, good enough for ORKS GP Numelops here, and they are sitting in position for a 1-2, and that's better if my maths is right. And as long as they keep it clean to the end here, they will have done it. Here they go, around the last corner. They will keep it clean. They are hand in hand across the line. 4,000 between them as they cross the line. And it is a 3rd map win in a row for ORKS GP Numelops in this match against Exalty.
Yeah, and if I was in Exalty's position here, my mental would be gone. I feel like, you know, it's going to be incredibly difficult. Look, we heard from Sprout yesterday that it may or may not, they may have given up on that series.
At least one of them may have.
Yes, one of them may have given up on that series. They were kind of let back into the series by a difficult performance from Omono Sun, and then they took back that control. Exalty, they're going to have a very similar thing go on here. They're going to have to be given this map and then try and push back for it, but it's not looking likely at all.
Yeah, it's true. Really, the key to that comeback from Sprout in a lot of ways was obviously fantastic performance from Dexter and Scrappy stepping up towards the end of the match as well to get them across the line. But really, we talked a lot about Omono Sun in that match feeling like they were running out of steam about halfway through. And I do not see, I don't see that ORKS GP NUMELOPS have been really pushing the envelope, that they've done anything that should be like, they should be hitting fatigue levels at the moment. For their sake, I really hope they aren't going to get fatigued in map 4 of what is looking like a 4-0 sweep, because they do have to go and play another match tonight as well.
Yeah, I think the big thing is that they're just not showing any weakness whatsoever. That's maybe they're not, doing what Dexter does and trying to put your opponents in the dirt by showing that you're just faster than them. Orcs are just not, wavering whatsoever. Exalty are having such a hard time just keeping up in consistency. And it's going to have to be a really, really massive comeback. This would be even more impressive than the one that Sprout pulled off, I think.
Yeah, I tend to agree, because at least in those first few maps, Dexter was still pushing world record times and Challenger League record times. And at the moment, there is not really a standout for Exalty in that same way. They are not really making either of the NUMELOPS players sweat for first places all that often. Complex just had his way. This time around, Link is competing. Panda will eventually lose it. Complex will lose it as well. And Link, that needs cleanly through. Sails just over the cone, will not visit it for good luck on the way either, and Complex will make it through for a third place, because Quattro finished in second, and that is the ace to kick things off for Exalty.
It had to be parkour, didn't it? We were saying that Orcs, they would have to open the door for Exalty to get back into this series, and oh man, the door is kind of wide open after that round. Well, at the very least, it's ajar after that round. We'll see if it's wide open later on after another couple rounds, but Exalty are going to be very happy to have some breathing room for once.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a DNF as well to kick things off. That's only the third DNF that between the two players from ORKS GP NUMELOPS on this map across the Challenger League. Like, it never feels good when you DNF. It's a lot of mistakes leading to that point, or a very, very bad respawn. And either way, it's, I think, one of the worst feelings you can have in these live rounds is just having to sit there and watch the timer play out.
Oh no, and that's another early mistake from Complex. He tries to go into the turn a little too early, and fair play to him, he tries to get away from it, but he does still hit that corner just about. Panda is going to have to do some work to keep his team up in this one and stop Exalty from getting some momentum in their sails, some wind, some second. Oh no, but that's not good. He has to respawn on the dirt turn. He knows he's not going to make the jump. And now Miquattro and Link, they have a straight shot to the finish line. Maybe not a straight shot. Link has a wall in front of him. Miquattro will sail through to the end. Can Link stay ahead of Panda in Complex? No. Panda has overtaken. It's a round win, it looks like it'll be for Exalty. But not 3 points. Not quite. Oh, no.
Well,
really?
It is a round. If no one else makes it to the line, I believe this is a round win.
Really?
Parkour. There's Link, there's Complex, time is over. It's a round win for Exalty. Absolutely huge. And hey, there's DNF number 4 for ORKS GP NUMELOPS, and the first one, at least in this match, for Exalty.
Yeah. That's parkour.
Cool.
You know what? It happens. Let's just not... I'm just going to pretend the round didn't happen. Exalty will be very happy that Complex was nowhere to be found, I'm sure. So we go again. That's all that matters here now. And, well, they've extended their lead. That's great for them. It may not be what they would have wanted with a 6-point lead, but it's a 4-point lead, and that is still nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I don't have stats for it, but 5-1 is a winning scoreline more often than it is not, at the very least. It is a very, very strong start to any map. And it was the start that NUMELOPS got last round. Miquattro with a small touch there. He's still going to be there, but is going to struggle through the rest of this identity. Just about through the first jump. May have been forced to respawn further back there, but this battle up front at the moment, very close. Panda trying to match, will miss. Link all the way through, will be through over the top. Panda with a respawn, now being hunted down by Miquattro, and Complex still completely out of
Panda, no, he hits a wall! No way!
He's gone for the miss. Complex ultimately finishes a 10th behind Miquattro, and Exalty find a second ace on the map.
providing we don't see ORKS GP NUMELOPS throw a map.
Yeah,
we're
like,
probably
listen,
not going to see a reverse sweep.
It's really funny that you've just name changed our tape from Sprout's match yesterday and thrown it on again.
Yeah.
But like, okay, joke's over, guys.
Of the players.
We can watch the real match now. We can get this replay out.
Okay, well, we'll see now. It's a pretty insurmountable lead now that Exalty have. We haven't seen many comebacks from a point difference like this in one map. Maybe only one I think we've seen so far throughout the whole of the Challengers League from something like this. If there was any team that was going to do it, I would say it's ORKS GP NUMELOPS, but they don't look comfortable on this map whatsoever.
No, they are having a real bad time of it right now, and well, I guess Exalty picked the map and they knew what they were doing when they picked it, because when they needed it, this has appeared and has given them an awful lot of hope. But it doesn't look at the moment like they're going to close it out from here, but this identity has caused a lot of problems. That will be a crash. It's Link who makes it, and that means that Quattro is now in the battle, looking to turn this one into a draw. Potentially, I think he might do it. I think he has the speed to get to the line. It's going to be very close to the inside line for Complex. Shorter distance to travel, and Quattro held off by 0.04 of a second.
It feels weird to say, but it's not good enough from ORKS GP NUMELOPS. They need aces, and that is not an ace. It gives Exalty a point. Okay, Link. It gives Exalty a point, and that gets them 1 point closer to the round win. So, hey, look.
Link is just messing up. Yeah. He's just messing up the DNF stats for the playoffs so that people think that they're worse at this map than they are.
It's good. Sandbagging is what we call it. Yeah, no, very good. Love that. ORKS GP NUMELOPS need 2 aces now. Not an easy task whatsoever. And even after that, they will need to close out the map. That's not going to make things even remotely easy. Complex has found a pole. Panda is a second down on the Exalty players. I don't want to call it here. You never know. It's parkour, but it looks pretty easy now for Exalty to close things out.
It should be doable. Surely, at least one of them can remain in the top 2. I will call you whatever I want, Twiggy. That sounded really aggressive. I'm sorry. Look, focus on the match. Twiggy, look, they still haven't. No, we're focusing on the match. We're focusing on the match, and Quattro and Link making it to the finish line pretty clean. Relatively cleanly, cleanly in the end, and it's just a win, but it is a map win for them as well. Look. Ooh, nice flip, Complex. That was nearly very cool.
Like Bruno Mars, ORKS have left the door open, and Exalty, they took it. They're through.
I feel like you'd said that about 4 years ago.
Oh, no, come on. I make singer references all the time, man.
No, you do. It's just I was going to say, if you'd said it about 4 years ago, I think there was possibly a chance I would have at least remembered the name of another Bruno Mars song to respond with.
It's not technically a Bruno Mars song,
no hope.
But it's Bruno Mars' band, so, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. We're going to reps, okay?
We're going to reps, and it is the start of a reverse sweep for the second time in 2 days. Well, this is now the third time. It's the second time today that we've seen a match in a position where someone needed to reverse sweep. Didn't work out last time around. It turns out that reverse sweeping is still really, really hard to do in this format.
Yeah, it really is, yes. Weirdly, when you're down by 3 maps, it's pretty difficult to stay completely flawless through to the very end. Interestingly, though, we have seen a lot of 4-0s, so technically it's the same thing. That's
true, but, it's quite difficult to swap from being worse than the other team for 3 maps to just suddenly better than the other team completely. And Complex, well, he's going to help that out a little bit and keep the momentum moving for Exalty in round 1 here.
Yeah, that does definitely help, and look, you just can't keep doing that once you have got to 3 maps. Look, whether it's complacency or, I don't know, stamina, or just suddenly you're making mistakes when you haven't throughout the whole thing, just pure luck, I guess. It's not. This is not the time to do that, because Exalty are going to start to gain momentum, and then it's going to be even harder to close out. You needed to close it out on the 4th map. Now you need to close it out on the 5th map even more desperately. If Exalty take this one, then okay, maybe they won't. Oh my lord, there's so many mistakes. Link doesn't even go for the risky finish. Quattro has made it there as well. Yeah, fair enough. If you know that there actually, I don't know how he would have known that there would have been mistakes from ORKS. I think that was just a full-on choice from him not to go for it. But there you go. It's an ace from Exalty. It's exactly what they need, and there is the momentum.
Yeah, made the decision. Look, someone called out that there was a mistake from ORKS GP NUMELOPS on the Exalty squad there, and the decision was made to just safe the finish line. They did that. They pick up another ace to start off a map, their second in a row. And all of a sudden, things do start to get a little bit dicier. It's still an awfully long way from done. There is still so many rounds that need to be won from Exalty. But all of a sudden, it is starting to feel a little bit possible. It's in the air.
Yeah, and although... Oh, man, that was not clean from... Oh, it's fine. He's not too far behind. Although we didn't know whether Exalty would have still won that round if there weren't mistakes from ORKS, they still were quick. Again, it's off the back of ORKS making mistakes suddenly in this series that they just haven't in the first 3 maps. And Exalty, again, they're pouncing on it. It's exactly what they need to do. McQuattro is only 4/10 behind his opposition. Link trying to hold on to that first position, trying to make up for a lot of the mistakes he made on the first 3 maps. Can he keep it clean to the very end? This time around, can ORKS keep it clean as well? Maybe force a draw. No, both of them have a wheel clip. Panda is going to have to go for the safe finish. Where will McQuattro end? Oh, he's just far enough behind that it's okay for Complex and Panda to get through to that one. But it's a draw, and once again, Exalty maintain their 3-point lead.
I mean, just okay is very much the operative word there. If either of those mistakes had been more costly, that is another round win for Exalty. That is another 5-1 start to a map. And it is Exalty very much feeling in control. Even still, it still feels like Exalty are in control. And if they can pick up another round win now, it's still a very, very similar strong position for them.
Yeah, it's easy to get, I feel like, a sense of how players are feeling just off the back of their driving. Link has cleaned up his mistakes. McQuattro is looking as fast as ever. ORKS are making mistakes all over the place. And that just goes to show how much more in the favor of Exalty this feels now. Maybe they are 3-1 down in the series, but it looks like they are more confident, and it looks like they are less accident-prone than ORKS GP NUMELOPS, and that is exemplified now by Link and McQuattro being in first and second, although just barely for Link, as Panda and him swap places over and over and over again, but Panda takes more penalty grass, and McQuattro and Link sail into a 1-2 lead. Where did Panda go? Complex is now all by his lonesome trying to keep up with these 2 players, but they've kept it clean to the end. Oh, McQuattro! Oh, that was close, but it's an ace.
He still got across the line.
Honestly, that was scary.
I'm not sure how the car ended up going across the line. He loses all momentum hitting the pole, and the car still is going forward. I don't know. I'm just saying I think physics took a break there for a second.
Just a little bit. It did look like he didn't make it. It really did. I think maybe his car rotated just about enough to get that right front wheel into the final checkpoint. But Exalty, they're looking on form for a 10-1 here.
Yeah. This is scary if you are ORKS GP NUMELOPS or rooting for them to win this match at the moment, because Exalty have come out to play on parkour, here on reps as well. And I'll remind you all that this map, reps, is where NUMELOPS wanted to go. Exalty did not pick this map, and that's maybe scarier than anything else, that they are now starting to show up on their opponent's choices. And in fact, Exalty, they've not done particularly well on this map in the past. A 33% win rate for them here. It's not been great.
I think we need to start seeing a statistic on win rates of map 5 if you lose map 4. Like, if you win the first 3 maps, lose map 4, what is your win rate on map 5? Because I feel like it is probably incredibly low. I'm not going to lie. And at this point, yeah, exactly. Is it 1? Is that the...
1%. Yeah.
1%. Yes, we have that sample size. Complex is in first place. This time it's mistakes from the players. Oh my god, players from both teams. McQuattro just about overtakes into first place. Panda is right behind, trailing by 44 thousandths. Link comes home in third, though, and that puts Exalty on 9.
Great round as well. A 106.8 to win it, and then the second place car only 400ths behind. And with that said, that was not the cars that were in first and second going into the identity either. So, was on pace to be a very, very quick round. There's been some quick rounds here in general, but it's Exalty who are getting the cars to the line, and full stop, that is how you win rounds of Trackmania. Yeah,
well, Exalty now really, really feeling it, and Panda definitely feeling it down at the back there. Link and McQuattro sailing forward on this one. Seems like a very, very, very solid time for them for the time being. Complex is already down by 7 10th, and he hasn't really made a mistake whatsoever so far, so Link and McQuattro may just close this one out. I feel like there's no chance Panda or Complex get forward into first or second, let alone both of them. So, yeah. Exalty steamrolling now.
Yeah, you talked about confidence, and right now, Exalty, they are swaggering into the final identity, potentially, of Reps at the moment. Both of them are hand in hand as well. It is a runway, and they will cruise across it nearly. Link does miss a little bit and go for the safer finish in the end, and that's a little bit unfortunate, but it's going to be a crash as well. Panda will get a DNF on that final round, and Exalty pick up a second map of the match. They bring us to map 6, back onto one of their selections for it as well. ORKS GP NUMELOPS, the heat is turning up, and we'll see if they can handle it.
What have ORKS got over the past 2 maps? Is it 6 points now over the past 2 maps? That's really not a position you want to be in, despite having the cushion in terms of map points over Exalty. You've got to feel like Exalty, like when we think of reverse sweep, obviously we think it's incredibly unlikely. We've only seen it once, but now it feels more likely that Exalty take this series, somehow.
Yeah, it is 100% starting to feel that way. It's starting to feel this is a little bit Exalty favored, and we'll see if that does continue to hold true, because we are heading into Agility Dash, and this is where things could definitely get very, very interesting indeed, because this is not a map that I think either of these teams have played an awful lot of at all in the competition so far. I think twice for NUMELOPS and maybe twice for Exalty as well, and I don't think either of them have ever won here either.
Wow.
So no, it's only once for Exalty and twice for ORKS GP NUMELOPS, and neither of them have won.
Yeah.
So
yeah, again, this is one of those maps that isn't in the metaphor, and then suddenly it's just, you know, it's one that neither of these teams want to play. Only a select few teams really like to play this map. Everybody else tends to just about avoid it or put it in their final 2 maps. So here we are now with both teams, and as you said, because neither of them have played it all that much, there is an equal likelihood that either team can get this one done. So whoever's most on form will probably take this one.
Yeah, although with that said, I think NUMELOPS maybe have been practicing, because both of them went for near identical lines for that jump trick near the start of the map as well. That's the kind of thing where you're like, yeah, these guys have been practicing together on this map. They've definitely thought about it and thought about having to maybe play on this one. And at the moment, they are in the mix, but McQuattro is there with them, right alongside them at the moment. And McQuattro does come out a little bit ahead as we went poolside for a second there. It's McQuattro with the better line, and we'll be heading into the final few turns in the lead, but mistake will cost them.
Oh, that's a bigger mistake from Complex. These are really good times from all of that front 3 up until right there. Panda still on a very good pace, but McQuattro has so much more speed. He has to turn a little further. He loses all that speed. Panda pulls back out further ahead. Can he finish it out? No, he has to turn even further. McQuattro takes first place. He gets over the line, and Complex has made a massive mistake. Link takes third. Exalty take the lead once again.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is not good for ORKS GP NUMELOPS right now, as Exalty, that was it. That was maybe the first round in 2 maps that ORKS GP NUMELOPS were going to win off the back of pace, off the back of just looking quicker than their opponents. And all of a sudden, Exalty have still found the win in it. And all of a sudden, any chance to halt that momentum with a fresh start on a fresh map, gone.
I mean, I said I expected it, but still, it takes you by surprise when something like this happens. ORKS GP NUMELOPS, it's not because Exalty are driving amazing times, mind-blowing stuff. It is because ORKS GP NUMELOPS are making mistakes all over the place, losing time in crucial areas, and just don't. It doesn't seem like they have the metal to be able to get through this one. Complex, again, has made a crash. He drops back 1.5 seconds, and as soon as Exalty keep it clean, which it seems like they have been over the past 2 maps, it's over.
Yeah, and I mean, the unfortunate thing for Exalty in some ways is that they still need ORKS GP NUMELOPS to probably beat BS Plus competition tonight.
Yeah.
If they want to make playoffs.
Unfortunately,
you can't wreck their mental too badly here, guys.
The position they're in is not good. The map difference is not a good time either. So there's a possibility. We'll say it's a possibility, but we can't rule anything out just yet. Panda will do his best.
It does start with them winning here. They do very much need to win here, or they're gone.
They do have to win, and it being a 3-4 at the best case scenario does not help them whatsoever. miQuattro is staying ahead of Panda just about, and again, Panda is slower on the identity than Exalty, and Link is catching up. Maybe he can overtake, maybe he can just about get it done. Not quite. Panda maintains a lead of 34 thousandths. Exalty do still get the round win, though.
Yeah, they pick up the clutch round win, and on pace that time around as well. No mistakes really from anyone in the top 3, and it was just Complex completely out of the battle with a pre-identity mistake very early in the map. Exalty, they'll be feeling comfortable, confident. Both of them together, you get confortable, and that's just French, and I don't hold with it, Twiggy.
I see how it is. Panda is in first place, Link and miQuattro trailing by just a tiny bit. Now, everybody is clean through the first part of the map. This is the first round we've had everybody grouped together like this on this map so far. Now, can ORKS GP NUMELOPS wrest back some control of this series right here, right now? Because now is the time to do it. You don't want to go another map.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to be hitting map 7 after having a 3-0 lead. It would be fairly disastrous, and I believe I'm casting my mind back all the way to the pick and ban so long ago at this point. Is it Flip of Faith as map 7 in this match?
You're not casting your mind back, you're casting Trackmania Challenger League. Panda and Complex now in first and second place. I think we just got confirmation on what you said, however. So yes, you are correct. Panda and Complex are still out ahead. miQuattro with a little more speed is catching back up, but still slightly behind now. Panda and Complex, can they get more speed? So far they have not been fast through the identity. miQuattro has been pretty quick. He does get a slightly faster entry. Panda trying to keep that gap happening. Complex has dropped all the way back. He's now in fourth position. Now Panda has to stay ahead, and he does. He keeps it cool to the very end. With a 129.0, not a bad time whatsoever, but Complex did make his way back up. Oh my lord, I didn't even notice. 27 thousandths takes him back into third, and they do close that distance a little bit.
A really, really tight finish there between the two at the back. And that does mean that a single point call back for NUMELOPS. I mean, again, yeah, I don't think either of these teams want it to be decided on Flip of Faith, but more so NUMELOPS. They are very much the ones who would like to close it out here, and that's a wheel clip, and miQuattro gone. Oh, he's gone, he's back. He's not too far back. He's still there if someone else makes a mistake, but he's in the position of probably needing to rely on mistakes unless he puts together a Dexter-esque back half of the map.
You're making it hard for yourself. You're giving yourself tongue twisters here. This is
honestly, yeah. I need to think about what I say before I say it.
You really do, obviously. Well, Panda and Complex are now quite, well, not a long way out ahead. Obviously, the distance is long, but they're going very quick. So only about 3/10 out ahead, which can definitely be equalized in the identity. But they're looking a little better now. They're not making mistakes like they did in the last two maps. It's just whether or not they can keep it fully clean and quick through to the very end now.
Yeah, an ace here would be absolutely huge for NUMELOPS at a crucial time on map 6. Regaining confidence as miQuattro was trying to come back in, and the line was a little bit wrong, and so he flies back off our screens, and Link will fly away completely. So it's miQuattro in third place, hoping for the mistake in front from NUMELOPS, hoping to deny this ace, but it is out of Exalty's hands now. All they can do is watch and hope and wait. miQuattro is quick, he is gaining, but there's just not enough track left. Panda and Complex cross the line in first and second. They move to track point. Twiggy, they move to match point.
Yeah, they do. That was crucial. It's a good time as well. A 128.9 is very decent. And Exalty, yeah, like that is just... I mean, it's the first round in a while they've made like proper bad mistakes, which have lost them points. And it's lost them 3 points, in fact. It's put them back in well, not the passenger seat of the round so far, not the driver's seat. What's the other one? There you go. Panda is now once again out in first place, but again, it's a tight grouping as we move forward. And ORKS, their mental is back.
Yeah, they've definitely regained over the last couple of rounds as well. The big snipe in the round before the last turns into an ace, turns into 5 points from 2 rounds and a chance to finally close the match out. And we'll probably be able to see it when it happens, Twiggy, and I'm sure chat can hear us with no problems at the moment as well. We should be back now.
There we go. Oh, Complex is gone. He's not back. He I don't know.
He's vanished into the ether.
Yeah, well, unfortunate. We didn't see what happened, but hey. Panda now, again, hopes rest on his shoulders. Miquacho, though, is putting together a very, very decent time. Link trailing by 2 tenths is going to be putting the pressure on Panda as well. But Panda, with a better turn, does take his place in first. Can he keep it now? He needs, I feel like, to get this win here just to stop Exalty from bringing back some momentum. But he's been slower, categorically, than Exalty here on the identity. He looks a little more practiced. Oh, and both of them slide out. Link, I mean, he's out ahead. Miquacho does stay on. Oh, not for long enough. But Complex and Panda, they do make it a draw, which is exactly, well, I mean, it was the best case scenario, what we were thinking earlier on, but not in this order.
No, and I mean, Exalty, they should have had an ace there. They should have turned it back on Numelops and made it that much more likely we went to map 7. Miquacho did all of the hard parts, really, of the identity. It's very rare that that final jump is where someone slides out. That's a little bit unusual, and it's an unusual mistake that may cost them this match, that may cost them the chance to remain for the playoffs of the Challenger League.
Yeah, ORKS GP NUMELOPS now only 2 points away. All they need is a round win, which they have been getting pretty consistently for the past few rounds here. All they need is that. Complex out ahead. Panda putting together a very good time as well. Exalty right on their tails. Can they keep... Well, will they buckle under the pressure? I feel like at this point it's been several maps since they've had pressure put on them by ORKS GP NUMELOPS. Maybe they've become numb to it.
Yeah, the potentially being made Nualaoch by the pressure put on by the ORKS GP NUMELOPS. Was that not what you were already going for? Excuse me if I misunderstood there. That
it really wasn't.
Okay, so Exalty, maybe the Numelops team at the end of this one anyway. We'll see how it goes, but at the moment they will need to step back up. They are chasing this race. They are chasing their season at the moment, honestly. This round could be it for Exalty, and right now it looks like it might be it because they are close, but they are not close enough. They'll be closer now. Complex with a mistake, and it's Panda who has to fend off both members of the cars in red.
Last time around, he did not make it through this identity. Link overtook, managed to get that one, and Link is on the chase once again. He's closed that gap massively, but Panda stays ahead just about. He makes it happen. It's a draw. It's not over, but he limits the points for Exalty. Either team can win here, but Complex, with a wheel clip, he backs up into 4th and stops the, I mean, it could have been over. It could have been over.
Yep. I love a 9-7 round, and a 9-7 round with the stakes as high as this as well. Exalty, and it's now very much on, because that is going to be Complex in the mud, a second behind. And Exalty, if Panda makes a mistake, it's done. We go to map 7 and Exalty stay alive. They will have brought this one back from the edge of defeat. It's on Panda. That's it. Full stop. This round is up to Panda. This match is up to Panda right now.
When you're up against the wall, what do you do? Exalty, they bring the fight back to ORKS GP NUMELOPS. All they need to do now, get an ace here. It's a tall order, but with Complex down by 1.5 seconds, it could definitely be doable. Panda, it rests on him to get this map over with right here and right now and stop Exalty from having a chance on map 7 to bring this one back. Miquacho overtakes. Now Link just has to do the same and try and get himself into second position. This is going to be... Oh no, Panda, he clips the wall. Link moves into second place. Miquacho and Link, they're first and second. Can they keep that position through to the finish line? It's looking likely that they can do that. They've looked clean here on the identity. All they need to do is do it one more time. Panda has more speed than Link. Can he catch up? Can Link stay in second place? If Panda gets this position, they win out this round and they win out this series. He can't do it. It's an ace from Exalty and they move to map 7.
Map 7! We're going to map 7. I love a 9-7 and I love an ace from the losing team in that position. Exalty looked like it was starting to slip back away. It looked like Exalty were not going to be able to bring us all the way through to a reverse sweep. They do. Twiggy, they do. And now from a potential 14 maps in our first 2 matches of the day, we're up to 13. Yeah. We are up for a second reverse sweep in 2 days. And Exalty are looking to get it done a flip of fate. And let me remind you, if we talk about flip of fate and we talk about
Link's jumps
players who
very
performed
good
well
on flip of fate.
MiQuatro's been fantastic. Link has been great. This is very, very scary for the ORKS GP NUMELOPS.
I'll remind you, the only reason they lost this last time was because Scandia put together a record. Like, that is pretty much the only reason that they lost on Flip of Faith last time they played it. They both are clean. Yes, Link, sometimes he clips his wheel because he goes for very risky lines. But at the same time, both of them are incredibly quick, and MiQuatro is quite consistent on this map as well. I have to rate Exalty for this one. I can't believe I'm saying that we're going to get another reverse sweep, but it does seem that way at the moment. The momentum is in their favor, and this is one of their better maps.
I back it. I rate it. I think that Exalty might have done what they needed to do. Obviously, they still need to get it across the line, but from this position, I think Exalty win. And Panda is not going to be helping out the team with a start like that, and it's complex, trying to chase down Link and MiQuatro, two of the best players that we have in the Challenger League at this series of jumps. Best of luck, man.
It couldn't have come down to a better map for Exalty here. That coin flip to make it Flip of Faith at the end. They must be so happy with this right now, and Link is in first position. MiQuatro gets overtaken, but we know how good they can be on these final jumps. Can they take back that position? MiQuatro does. He goes for a little safer jump than he usually does, but so does Link. He knows he's out ahead. Can they just keep it clean through to the very end? Oh, no. It looks like it's a respawn from one of them. I'm not quite sure who it is.
All three players respawned,
I think. MiQuatro goes back. It's a round win for Exalty. Not quite as clean as they usually make it. Thank you for making us look like idiots, Exalty, but here we are. It is still a round win.
I'll forgive them. Adrenaline map 7, it makes a lot of sense. MiQuatro didn't have to respawn, but was not clean through that last jump. Complex and Link both respawning. Exalty still pick up the win. Panda completely out of it with a missed jump earlier in the map. We'll see if Panda can clean things up, if Panda can look better by the time we reach that identity.
MiQuatro does usually go for safer jumps, so I'm not incredibly surprised that he went for a very, very high jump at the end there and well, could have lost out if there weren't respawns. Oh man, that's not a great jump. I'm not sure who went up in the air. It was MiQuatro that went up. He went for a riskier line than he usually does, and now Link is going to have to pull out some heroics here to keep within contention for this one. MiQuatro's not terribly far behind. It's only a second, very much gainable in just a jump on Flip of Faith, let alone if the other team makes a mistake. But Panda and Complex are going to want to take this one away right here and right now to stop Exalty gaining momentum.
Yep, tie this match back up, bring us all the way down to the wire on map 7. I'm here for it. If they can pull it off and into these jumps we go one more time. There is a second separating the whole field. And look at how quick Link is through that first one. And MiQuatro has regained all the time.
And again, and again, and again.
Another one. But has Link finished? He hasn't. No, Link respawned. Link respawned in front, and Panda wins the round. Complex comes third. MiQuatro claws it back for a second.
Oh, it was looking so good for Exalty there. MiQuatro pulled out some absolutely brilliant jumps to take back that position. It could have been a 1-3 for Exalty. Instead, it's a 2-4. And ORKS GP NUMELOPS do even it out. It's not looking as clean as we usually see from Exalty. I'm not surprised, considering it's map 7 and it's all on the line for them, but still, this they need to get it together right here and right now. They need to. Quite literally, they need to.
Yep, it's also for ORKS GP NUMELOPS Link. That's a big mistake. He's much too far to the left, and MiQuatro has lost ground. But I was going to say, that's the point I was about to make, is that NUMELOPS, they take safer lines. They are slower through these jumps, and that means if Exalty land their riskier lines through the identity, if they go for those lower jumps and it pays off, they will win out. NUMELOPS need to be building up big leads pre-identity, and even then, it may not be enough. Panda goes back to pay a visit to MiQuatro very briefly, and then jumps back ahead. And it's MiQuatro gaining into the identity. MiQuatro could still win this round just on pace.
Yeah, he has more speed going into the jump. Is his jump better? It's low. It's really low. He overtakes one. Can he overtake the second towards the end? It's another good jump from him. Oh, Complex makes a mistake, but Panda has been clean enough to get first position. Look, damage limitation there from MiQuatro is great once again. It results in only 1 point for the team, but still, that's a point that they weren't looking like they were getting earlier on. Link is now just practicing his final jump, it looks like.
Hey, I respect it, honestly.
Yeah, fair enough.
The round is decided. Keep going for it, absolutely, and it's only a 1 point difference, but it is a 1 point difference for NUMELOPS, who, well, they're back in the lead, and they nearly pulled it back on agility dash. They nearly closed it out, but nearly is the operative word there, Twiggy. They didn't close it out on map 4, 5, or 6. They have to do it on 7. At least they have the lead. but it's going to be still so difficult to do it against Exalty on this map in particular, especially if you have mistakes from Link. Well, I say especially if you have mistakes from Link. It's made a lot easier, actually, by the mistakes from Link, would you believe?
Yeah, interestingly, and now Complex and Panda are in a 1-2. They haven't looked as quick, not even remotely, on this map, but they're more consistent, and that is what is counting at the moment. And as you said, nearly is not good enough. There is no participation award going here. Exalty, if they do not win this map, if they do not win this series, they are confirmed bottom 2 seeds. They don't make it to the playoffs, and they're looking at the relegation tournament here. McQuattro doesn't have as good an entry to the turn as he usually gets, so he's not going to have as much speed, which means he needs to take a higher line. It's good, and it overtakes one once again. McQuattro looks like he may just make it through. Panda doesn't make it through. McQuattro's going to take first place. It's brilliant. Can Link overtake now?
Yes, he can.
Oh,
yes, he can.
God.
Panda misses. McQuattro is the player who had the lowest speed entering that identity, and that should have been a death knell. That should have meant that ORKS GP NUMELOPS at least get the win, hopefully the ace.
No way,
and both of them miss. Both of them miss. There's no way. There's no way. But there is. If Link doesn't make a mistake.
The ultimate, like, the vindication that Exalty must be feeling, having got like several rounds in the past 4 weeks to within 4 points and still coming away with no wins to speak of whatsoever. This is so... It must feel so good to be on the edge of being able to win your first series in such a long time, and against such a good team. First off, you know, you've lost to teams that are at the bottom of the leaderboard. This would be a brilliant one. And here, exactly when you need it, the final map of the series, you need this win. And being able to do it now would be absolutely perfect. Obviously, your fate is still in the hands of ORKS GP NUMELOPS later today. But doing this right here, right now, is all you need. Complex barely makes it over that jump. He's going to fall further back in 4th position. Can Panda, keep Exalty at bay here? Their jumps are better. Can they overtake? They're both very good into that first jump, and they make up a lot of time. McQuattro looking at first position here, and he does overtake Panda. Link overtakes one more. Not quite. It is the round win, however, for Exalty. It's not enough, but it gets them to 9 points.
And NUMELOPS are on 6. It is a nice scoreline, and it may be a nice finish to the regular season for Exalty. Their first win in 5 weeks is what they're hunting for. Their second win overall. And at the moment, NUMELOPS cannot close it out against them. NUMELOPS need an ace. That is it. Nothing else will do. And I do not see you denying both players of Exalty a top 2 finish.
Good. McQuattro has consistently made up saved points for Exalty, although it's not a good position to be in. Hold on, we'll have to wait and see. They have made up a gap like this before, but I wouldn't count out ORKS GP NUMELOPS out of nowhere here. They are in the 1-2 position that they need to get back to 9-9 here. McQuattro and Link now chasing. Their lines have been better. They have been quicker on this map. Their jumps have been better, and they have gained more speed in towards the end. Can they do it again? Can McQuattro bring out the heroics once again? He's just made up 3 tenths on Complex and Panda. He's looking to overtake. He only needs to overtake one. The first jump, it's good. Panda, he barely even makes it. McQuattro, he's moved up into 2nd position. This is all he needs. It's a perfect final jump. He gets 1st position. Exalty take the series. Oh my god.
Exalty, their first win in 5 weeks when they needed to do it. McQuattro on Flip of Faith cannot be stopped. And Exalty, they're not guaranteed to go to the playoffs just yet, Twiggy, but they have done all they could do in the most difficult way possible. And that's been their entire season. Summed up, if they make the playoffs, they will have done it in the hardest way they possibly could have.
I can't believe it. We teased it when, when the 3 maps came through from ORKS GP NUMELOPS. We went, now what they need to do is not leave the door open for Exalty to come back into this series. They left the door open. Exalty took 1 map. They took 2 maps. They took 3 maps, and then it came on to Flip of Faith, where McQuattro made up so many points on that one. It was a brilliant performance for both teams, but Exalty, the mental fortitude to bring that one back is absolutely insane, and it's exactly what they need. Now ORKS have to win this next series to keep them out of playoffs.
This is true. Look, it's going to get spicy now over the rest of the day. Easy Dream winning over BS Plus competition with a bad game differential would be great for Exalty. That would be absolutely spectacular for them. That's our next match, so we're going to keep eyes on it. We're going to go to a break, decompress, take a second chat, deep breaths everyone before we go in and out. And we'll see you after the break, where the action will continue to heat up. I can't keep it calm for long. We're going to stay excited. See you all shortly.